Growing up, I know we didn't have a lot of stuff. There was times where we didn't have electricity and we'd have extension cords going into the neighbors. I remember one time I actually had to cut a pair of my mom's pants to school because it's like we didn't have a lot.
My name is Michiko Sanchez. I am Michael's mother. I was a very young mother at the time. I was 15 when I had him. It was tough, but he was my baby. He's a very, very happy child.
When my stepdad first came into our lives, that's when our lives really started to change. I remember having so many people come through the house. I didn't feel safe. There was this younger guy and he's like, "You know what your parents are doing?" And I was like, "No." "You don't smell that? They're doing crack." So I was really close with my auntie. She passed away when I was 7. I remember like the ambulance and taking her out of that house, and she had overdosed on drugs. And then after that, I didn't want to be home. The way I got turned on to stealing, that was me just trying to escape reality, I'd say. If I was out on the streets, I had to be doing something. And we would just steal stuff, like constantly. We were stealing from everywhere. Then it became bigger things like cars. A couple of friends of mine stole a car. We were coming back up the hill, and then that's when the cop turned their lights on. I was like, I'm gonna run from this guy. And I just drove the car off a cliff into the creek. This is the first time I got incarcerated. And I was in there for like 30 days until they finally let me out. From there, I just kept violating probation.
When Michael came to Third Way, his diagnosis was oppositional defiant disorder, probably times 100. Everything was a fight.
The kids who come to Third Way are kids who've had lots and lots of failed treatments. Failed placements, failed group homes, failed psychiatric hospitals. And of course, what we do for the most part, we say to an adolescent, why can't you just behave? But there's a reason for why an adolescent behaves badly.
Michael's mom wanted to be involved, but every family meeting, it was more about talking about how badly Michael behaved.
I had my own demons that I struggled with, and I knew that's where it was going to end up, and I didn't want to face that.
Michael's family wasn't very different from most families. They didn't exactly rush to it. It takes self-reflection. Self-reflection is painful. It takes changing the way we are or the way we think, and that ain't easy.
I did get angry with some of the counselors, like, who do you think you are? You know, telling us that we need to do this and that. You don't know what we've been through.
She didn't want to come no more.
She could have got up and walked out. You always wonder, is this going to be the last meeting? But if her son was going to get any better, she needed to open up first.
I have struggled with blaming, and it is myself for not being the mom that I should have or could have for my children and giving the life that every kid deserves. But I can't take that back.
I held on to resentment for a long time. I wanted a family. I wanted my mom. I just wanted somebody to be able to point me in a direction to go. I wanted someone to say, go that way. But it did feel good to talk about it at Third Way, a lot. When I left Third Way, I was right away back to acting out. And I remember we had took somebody up for some money, and we were in a stolen car.
It's not unusual for teenagers to test whatever new found skills they have, and then to fall back or regress, it isn't going to be smooth.
And so when he got into that trouble, my heart broke.
I was like, my life is done. I'm in this big, penitentiary. And that same week, I found out that Ashley was pregnant with our daughter. I really started pulling a lot of the tools that I did get from Third Way. I needed to change something inside. I needed to accept responsibility. And from that moment, I've been taking every opportunity to grow and become a better person and continue to work on who I was on the inside and make sure that I'm not my father. And make sure that I'm here for my kids, make sure that I'm raising my family, make sure that I give them everything that I wanted. So I am a dental lab technician. I make dental prosthetics. I got an opportunity at this lab. I said, hey, if you guys train me, I'll work for free. And then it got to a point that they just hired me on.
For him to say I had to take responsibility for my actions, he did. We all do. But really, if we're working with kids, the adults always have to go first.
I realized it wasn't about me. It was about healing our family. And that really brought a lot of conviction on me.
When you change someone's perspective, ever so slightly, you're going to get a different life trajectory. So you have an age in which that is already true. You have an age in which the brain is unbelievably plastic because it is reinventing itself. Wouldn't that be a good time to start? That's why I hang in there.